I mean, I won't lie. I would have loved to talk to Michael Douglas just in general, but I don't have that phone number. So
Hi,
hi.
this is my husband Dan Alex Forrest. No, I know him already.
Hi, Mr. Jackson.
Hi,
How
Renata.
are
How are
you?
you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm a huge fan. Dawson's Creek is one of my favorite TV shows, and I love Cruel Intentions. I
Oh,
grew up watching the movie.
excellent.
I watched some episodes of Fatal Attraction, and I was blown away. So, can you tell us a little bit about the story of this new version?
Well, sure. So the story, everybody has an idea of the movie, right? It's such an iconic film. So it is. We're telling a version of that, an homage to that. So Alex Cunningham, our writer, wanted to take this iconic film and the circumstances of the film and bring them into the modern world, and then use, because we're not a movie, we're a TV show. So instead of having 2 hours, we have 8 hours. So use all of that extra time to really get into particularly the Alex Forrest character and just explaining how that woman became the way that she is, who she is, why she does the things that she does. And once we get into that, then also examining the man, Dan, and really questioning, like, what is it that makes a man do this in his marriage, right? That to reach out to somebody to flatter his ego, and what type of man is it that can't admit that mistake and just keeps on making things worse and worse and worse and worse. And then, because we also visit the story 15 years after it starts to see the repercussions, you like, the butterfly flaps its wings here, and what happens 15 years later to his family and everybody around him. And that's the part that really was interesting to me, is like, usually the movie ends here, right? We never actually see how everybody has to deal with it down line further in their life.
Have you ever pushed that red button?
I think you pull it. It says pull, but no.
So what do you think would happen? Nothing or something?
And the original movie was released in 87, was a totally different time. Do you believe the story is even more relevant in the modern days?
I do. I mean, I think that, look, I have a huge amount of respect and love for the original movie. But I also, when I went back and rewatched it, I think I was too young to notice this the first time. But the gender politics of that movie are definitely from 1987. And so I think, if you wanted to retell this story, you have to bring it into the modern world, right? You couldn't tell that story again, because you shouldn't tell that story again. And so, yeah, I think it's relevant because we're still dealing with conversations around mental health. We're still dealing with gender politics, identity politics. We're still dealing with power dynamics, power structures. And one thing that's sort of coming into the consciousness now, the conversation now, is the fragility of the male ego, right? In the movie, he's a good man who makes a mistake and this crazy lady ruins his life. But in our story, we use the time to examine, like, something's wrong with this guy, right? He has an imaginative idea of himself that he's not quite there. And as soon as it gets scratched just a little bit, it all collapses in on itself. And I think that's part of the cultural conversation that we're in right now, is really refocusing the lens and being like, what is happening with men? What's going on? We're in not good shape.
And did you talk to Michael Douglas, or you want to bring a totally different approach to the character?
I mean, I won't lie. I would have loved to talk to Michael Douglas just in general, but I don't have that phone number. So I would have tried to do something new anyways. I think it would be crazy to try to do an impersonation of what he did, because he's Michael Douglas. Only he can do that. And he has a whole string of movies in a row that are like part of the foundation blocks of my understanding of film and storytelling. So yeah, I would love the opportunity to talk to him. So if he watches and he wants to give me a call, please know that the phone is always open.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love the TV show, and I love to talk to you. Grande beijo do Brasil. Kisses from Brazil.
Thank you.